Okay, this video was requested by Jenny from eBay seller on the electric motor, who wants a video of what's going on before they refund me my money. So first of all, here it is wired. We've only got 3 wires to deal with. We've got the ground, and then we've got the 2 phases of 220. So it's wired exactly like the motor it replaced. There's 2 phases, a 120, total of 2, 110, 220, and you can reverse them and it doesn't make any difference. It wouldn't anyway on an electric motor. Okay, so I've got the cover off of that just to show that it is wired correctly. It's wired exactly like the other motor. And let me also say too that I'm retired. I spent my life working as an industrial electrician and as an aircraft electrician. This is not my first electric motor. It's not my first air compressor. I've done hundreds of these before. Have the cover off of the belt so that I can show that the compressor itself is not seized, is not stiff. It spins freely. And I've let the air out of the compressor so that we can start over here. So you can see, so we can get it to focus here, the unloader valve. And I'll show you in a minute, once we build up some pressure, that the unloader valve is working. Okay, so I've got it turned on, and this is the easiest way to do it so I can show it. Go back here to the circuit breaker, and I'm going to go ahead and flip the circuit breaker. Okay, I'm going to shut it off for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and bring the switch down so we can see and hear. The unloader valve just unloaded the compressor. It relieved the air off of it. And I got to say that that actually worked better than it did when I first tried it yesterday. So let's keep going and see what happens here. Okay, you can see on that one now that there's a little bit of air in the tank. I'm going to unload it again. Now there's a little bit of air in the tank. The electric motor doesn't want to spin up. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here for a second. I'm going to let it run, build up about 40-50 pounds of pressure, and then I'll come back on again. Okay, so there's about 40 pounds of pressure built up. I shut it off with a switch, so the circuit breaker is still on. The unloader valve relieved the pressure, and I'm going to flip the switch and turn it back on. And that's what it's doing. And I just killed the breaker. If I let it go after 10-15 seconds, the motor is just going to start smoking. In fact, I can already smell it starting to get hot. So once it's built up a little bit of pressure, even though the unloader valve is unloading the compressor, the motor is just too weak to work against that pressure. Like I said, I spent my life doing this. If I had to guess, I'd say starting capacitor is bad or wired wrong, or just a piece of junk motor. Anyway, here's your video.